Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at, well, a really unique set of sources you've shared with us, all centered around this intricate exploration of a third world war. But this isn't your typical geopolitical take.
Not at all.
Our mission here is to unpack these, very detailed theological interpretations.
Right. Distill the key insights.
Exactly, and try to understand the surprising implications they present. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
These sources, they kick off with a really powerful idea, a foundational premise.
Yeah, it's quite striking.
This Third World War, it's not just seen as another conflict. Fundamentally, it's presented as a divine judgment.
Specifically on sin.
On sin, yeah, particularly within what these sources identify as the church.
And they draw a parallel, don't they?
They do. A sharp parallel to ancient southern Judah. Remember the 3 attacks by Babylon?
Leading to its destruction, yes.
Well, that's presented as a prefigurement, a kind of historical foreshadowing for the great city Babylon.
Which they interpret as the church itself once it falls into wickedness.
It's a radical reinterpretation, isn't it?
Right.
Really shifts the focus of judgment inward.
Completely. Away from external enemies to sort of internal corruption within the faith community.
And they suggest World War I and World War II were like the first 2 great swords hitting this church turned Babylon.
Implying a third is prophecetal.
Right. The core idea seems to be that judgment starts with God's own people.
Beginning with the leaders.
Especially when, as they put it, wickedness fills the church.
And what's truly fascinating here is how the sources then diverge. They offer 2 distinct primary views on when this Third World War actually happens.
Each with pretty profound implications.
Definitely.
Okay, and this is where the timeline starts getting really interesting, One perspective ties this war directly to the great sword that's released when the Lamb opens the 2nd seal in Revelation 6.
Okay, the 2nd seal.
And they place this near a specific period called the last 1 week.
A significant 7-year time frame in these texts.
Exactly. And look, this isn't portrayed as just a war. It's like a trigger for this devastating chain reaction.
Global consequences.
Huge ones. Global famine, pestilence, widespread death, ultimately claiming 1/4 of the Earth's population.
1/4? That's staggering.
And leaving a third of the planet itself devastated. This view proposes that the sheer destruction is what allows the beast.
This powerful, oppressive, global entity.
Right, allows it to seize control.
Yeah.
And interestingly, the 200 million cavalry from Revelation 9.
Yeah, what about them?
In this view, they don't necessarily start the war. They might actually end it.
How so?
By basically wiping out any remaining opposition, establishing the beast's rule, sort of final, brutal consolidation of power.
Okay. That's one complex picture. What's the alternative view?
Well, if we try to connect this to the bigger picture, the second major perspective takes a different route. It assumes the 4 winds from Daniel 7 and Revelation 7 and the 4 angels from Revelation 9 are all, intrinsically linked to the beast's emergence.
Ah, so they're tied together.
In this interpretation, yes. And the Third World War is seen to erupt when those 4 angels bound at the great river Euphrates are released.
Which happens with the 6th trumpet, another key prophetic moment.
Exactly. And this release unleashes the 200 million cavalry.
But here they do seem to initiate conflict.
Well, they're unleashed to kill 1/3 of humanity. The scale itself implies a global conflict, a massive wave of death.
1/3 of mankind. Goodness.
The sources even hint it could originate near the literal Euphrates River area. Turkey, Syria, Iraq today.
But they caution about literal versus symbolic readings, right?
They do, wisely. But crucially, the outcome of this version of the war leads directly to the Babylonian papacy.
A term they use for a specific, corrupted religious political power.
Seizing global influence, riding the beast, essentially. Okay, so 2 very distinct sequences and immediate outcomes there. Before we look at the common ground, I should mention, there's also this third sort of underdeveloped idea floated in the sources.
Right, the one suggesting maybe they're not sequential.
Yeah, that the 2nd seal and 6th trumpet events might actually be describing the same catastrophe, just from different angles. But it's not really fleshed out.
An interesting idea, but less supported in the material we have. So, regardless of when it happens, 2nd seal or 6th trumpet, the chilling common ground is...
It's seen as inevitable.
Absolutely. An inevitable event. And the sequence of death described is, frankly, staggering. First, 1/4 of people die.
From war, famine, plague, even wild beasts, it says.
Then a further 1/3 of the remaining population dies by that 200 million cavalry. Whether that's ongoing war or more like a direct slaughter isn't always clear.
So billions perish.
Billions. And the sources emphasize that after this devastation, the Babylonian harlot riding the red beast, that corrupted power gains global control.
But leading to peace.
Paradoxically, yes, a period of global peace between nations. Unexpected, maybe deceptive.
But that peace is a trap, isn't it?
It seems so, because it then transitions into a 42-month or 1260-day period of systematic slaughter.
Targeted at God's people.
Yes. However, and this is a critical counterpoint they make, during this very dark time, 2 witnesses,
identified as the 144,000, a faithful group,
will actually destroy the harlot system, and God's people, the faithful, will find protection. There's mention of a place of refuge.
So, okay, what does this all mean for us wrapping up? We've explored this narrative. It weaves together massive global conflict, leading, strangely, to global peace among nations.
A peace that's short-lived and treacherous.
Right, which then precedes intense spiritual persecution, but also, crucially, divine protection for the faithful.
Which really raises an important question for you, the listener, doesn't it?
What's that?
Given these very specific interpretations of future events, these intricate connections, how might understanding prophecies like these shape your current perspective on what's happening in the world?
Or maybe inspire you to delve deeper into these complex topics yourself.
Exactly. Something to think about.